Hello, welcome to this video. This video is going to talk about the simple reason why if you're new to FIFA Ultimate Team, but you have some coins to spend, why you should make an MLS Ultimate Team squad. We'll start from the beginning. Now, there is a few disclaimers to the MLS Ultimate Team squad. The first one being, the most noticeable one being that the MLS season is over. The MLS finals took place a few weeks ago. So what you're seeing, for the most part, should be what you're getting for the next few weeks. However, with that being said, just this week, the Silver Star Objectives player was Jurgen Damm, which brings us to our second disclaimer. And by the time you're seeing this, two of these cards, definitely one, or at least, actually technically three, are not going to be accessible, possibly by the time you're seeing this. And those cards would be Jurgen Damm, Mukhtar, and with an asterisk, Tweety, who you can still get his base card, but you still obviously can't get his one to watch anymore. That was an SBC at the beginning of the game. So firstly, as you can see, the MLS squad, very colorful, which is something that everybody likes, with the one blemish being Christian Pavon, who, granted for a base card, maybe especially at the beginning of the game, would actually be a very good starter card. At this point of FIFA, not so much. He's your best option in terms of the MLS in the left mid position. However, what I tend to do is play Deulofeu on 8 chem. Now, with that being said, there's plenty of options you can go with this left mid position. You can switch Tweety for Bohan in the 4-5-1 formation, and you can elect to go with the French left mid or left wing like Dembele, so on and so forth. If you're looking, and obviously, if you add a Spanish manager, we'll just do that here, just to make our lives a little easier. Make a Spanish manager. We'll be on 8 cam. Limo will be on 10 cam, obviously because of the strong link with the Para, and that's the left mid position taken care of. Obviously not 100% MLS, but again, Christian Pavon is still a very good card. And there are a few options. Now, Jordan Morris, a fun fact, absolute cheat code in the Silver Stars objective. Now, the finishing stats are obviously very low, but the shot power, the strength, the stamina, the pace for a left mid, especially a silver left mid, very, very decent. I was hopeful, very, very hopeful that Jordan Morris was going to get a special card this year. I believe he had his second inform at the end of FIFA 20. By that point, FIFA 20 was kind of at that point where, it was really, really irrelevant. But if Jordan Morris gets an inform, you could be looking at one of the most underrated cards in the game. Maybe not necessarily an inform, but a special card, because, as I said before, informs, at least in terms of on club level for the MLS, not going to happen for quite a while, but still a small chance that you're going to have some international informs, possibly for some of these players. So we start in the back, and I think the defense is self-explanatory. This Jurgen Damm, silver objectives player, really turns this team around. It allows you to be able to play 4 in the back. It gives a strong link to Carlos Vela, record breaker card. Every one of the defense has both fullbacks, Lima and Damm, both have 92 pace. Gives them an anchor card. Obviously, you could do the math in your head. It's 97 with a +5 pace boost. Opara and Lon could give him a shadow card, but I want the 99 jump in. I want the 96 strength because his head and accuracy is so good. He's scored only 2 goals, which clearly is not that much, but he's definitely scored a lot of goals in friendlies when teams aren't as powerful as the normal division rival squads. So obviously, there's limitations that people can do. So Tim Ayla in the back, the goalkeeper. I think he's secretly a very good goalkeeper. However, his issue is the fact that he's 6 foot. So we really don't want to be ridding him out that much because he will get chipped rather easily, unfortunately. But again, similarly to De La Feu, also, especially because your center backs are both American, if you wanted to, you can also elect to go um, with Zach Steffen. You could do the math in your head about what you'd rather kind of have. Obviously, Zach Steffen not being an inform, being just a base gold card, but still, of course, being American, we'll get those links in just fine. And on the bench, now at the beginning, Sergio Santos before Nani and Bohan, Sergio Santos was the must card to have in an MLS squad. We all know how FIFA works. Pace is everything. 95 pace on a base card. Give him a finisher just for the sake of get the full picture with the chemistry on 10 chem. Those stats are really, really good. Pace 96, 94. The finishing goes above 90. Just a very, very good card. 86 strength as well as 80 stamina. So I did the math. So this team that you're looking at right here cost as of this morning 230K. Now that is because some of these cards, especially namely Alexander Rin, were early day packs, so it is going to be a bit difficult to get them. But there are other options that you can do rather than Alexander Rin, namely in the midfield. Now, obviously not as good as Alexander Rin, but cheeky little silver star card. This dude from FC Dallas, Brian Acosta, another Silver Stars legend. Sprint speed, really, really good. Dribbling. The stats that are, I think matter, the agility and balance, very, very strong. 78 strength. You can give him almost every single chemistry style in the game, and I think it will make sense. So that's also another option. Defense, in case, you don't want to go with the Opara route, which I highly recommend you do, especially because I think he's only 40K. And fun fact, Opara is a super sub. Not a bad idea. I definitely think he could be a very good CDM-esque player, super sub. And also, while they're not in this squad, I will briefly show you my, probably, there it is. It is called the MLS tree because I have a bunch of different variants of the MLS squad. This is what I did on my FUT Champs run. This is the squad. And what I did was, because Nani only has 70 stamina, and he's not, clearly with the 99 acceleration and the 86 sprint speed, that's fast. But unfortunately in FIFA, and especially in FUT Champs, everybody's using Joe Gomez. Everybody's using Rafael Varane. You need a little more pace, and especially the 70 stamina. So if you can get your hands on a super sub, Alessandrini, you don't even need to have an MLS squad, or you didn't need to have an MLS squad to know how powerful his FIFA 18, 17 inform. I believe it was 18. Don't quote me on that though. Is that inform absolutely insane? So to have this card as a super sub, again, those are the super sub numbers. I really wouldn't read too much into it. But Lozano, one of the best informs in the game, one of the best cards in the game. Him as a super sub. There's subbing on pace, and obviously if you can get yourself a defensive-minded midfielder to go along as another super sub towards the end stages, maybe for an Alexander Rin, who to be fair, at the time, and even now, is still a really, really good card, all things considered. He's an 80 overall inform. So really can't go wrong there. Now going back to the original squad, the MLS squad as a whole, there are other options in the MLS. As you can see right here, a lot of Argentinians. We spoke about Christian Pavon. Now we're going to speak about Jose Martinez. Now, Jose Martinez's base card is one of those cards that I will die for. There is something about it. Every single year, it is just unspeakably good. Those are base card stats. He's so good every single year. It's just, I'm kind of going with the fact that Nani is special. The FUT freeze, his stats are very, very good. Obviously, the dribbling is very, very important. Of course, the 5-star. Bohan, just look at those numbers for yourself. Really, really good. Jose Martinez, also another really, really good option to have as either a starter striker or a super sub, possibly. Spoke about Sergio Santos, the hero of the MLS Cup final, Lucas Solarian. What a baller this guy is. Middle I was a bit disappointed in his card. Has some interesting stats some places. Don't necessarily know if me giving him a Hunter card was the best bet. Only used him 13 games, but obviously look at those stats. Very, very good card. Reynoso. Interesting thing about Reynoso is that he actually does have somewhat of a defensive presence in him, which is very, very helpful, especially, in this kind of an MLS squad where you're not necessarily using meta players. Obviously, with an engine cam style, has decent pace, has decent passing, has decent dribbling, has enough of a defensive presence, has decent stamina. Just an all around good card. Castellanos, I'm an NYCFC fan. I had to get this card. Again, nothing too special. I gave him a Catalyst card. I don't really know why. I think I gave it to him and I didn't really know what they did. Or I didn't necessarily realize that the Catalyst cards are mainly for plus 15 to cross and so other, again though, like so many cards in this game, you give him a Hunter card, give him a Hawk card even, and I feel like he's gonna be reliable enough if you can't get your hands on a Nani or a Bohan. Mokhtar, if you have him, he was the second Silver Star objective, I believe the first one to have a dynamic image. Also, a little bit of history, the first Nashville FC in form, which is also pretty cool. I feel like the Silver Stars that are coming out now are much better than the originals. For example, like I think Moise Keane was like the first one to really, really be good. This one, because of the agility, because of the agility and balance, is still a very good option. Of course, at 95 stamina, but I do think there are other options. Again, though, certain cam styles could really make this card so good. Again, just so we'll give you an idea of what he could look like on 10 cam with certain cards, certain cam styles. Can't really go wrong there. Vinga. Now the pace speaks for itself on this one. 81 pace for Silver Center. Another silver beast. I used to own this card. I sold it back when I was in need of coins. Similarly to Castellanos, I think he definitely has a little bit of an edge over Castellanos. But I just think it makes more sense just to either go with the Nani or a Bohan or Jose Martinez or Sergio Santos at that striker position. So that will do it. So again, the squad costs about 230. Lima, Long, and Bohan are milestone objectives. Again, the quick disclaimer is that today is Tuesday, so Jurgen Damm will no longer be available on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, December 30th. But obviously, 3 in the back for MLS squad, I think works out well too. I think it's actually a lot of fun. I'll see if I still have one. Better than the EPL. I like to get a little people riled up. So in case you can get yourself Jurgen Damm, we'll put Lima in there. And this is what the squad could possibly look like. Again, you could do the same thing. Still have him on 8 cam. And if you put Reynoso with the link to El Paro, you can get him on 10 cam. So obviously the only person. So you can still have De La Feu on 8 cam. You can have Reynoso and obviously just move them around in game. I think it's a very, very good looking squad. And just to make sure, I also want us to quickly see if you can. Yeah, so they're still there. I don't know if they ever expire, but win 10 matches, a lot of friendlies is now golden goal. So your only real quote unquote difficult one would just be. I mean, I really don't think any of them are quote unquote difficult, but just be a long haul playing 15 matches to get Lima, and obviously Bohan would follow. But again, it is a golden goal, so it shouldn't be as difficult as it looks. It just take a decent amount of time. So that is why you should use an MLS squad. I think if you're new to FIFA, you have some coins to spend, you're not necessarily ready to commit to a full-on, team or meta team, quote unquote, where Varane is going to alone cost you 170K, and Mendy's going to cost you 30K, and so on and so forth. If you want to have fun, I'm not a big fan of playing the meta. I like having fun. You can get a little idea. Have I don't. So this is like my quote unquote main squad. Although I was thinking about getting Chiellini, but that is I don't like the whole. I think my EPL squad is also it's not definitely not meta. I packed him on Werner, and I still didn't go with the meta. So in conclusion, definitely try an MLS squad. Again, play devil's advocate. The only disclaimers that I will say are that there is no more MLS regular season. It ended a few weeks ago. But as I also mentioned, does not rule out the possibility of MLS getting special cards. Orlando City, I believe, are eliminated. And Nani still got the foot freeze card. I don't necessarily know how many players there are Nani stature in the MLS that would warrant getting a card. It's like a promo card. Obviously, Bohan, the Barcelona connection, the failed Prodigy connection, although obviously he still managed a pretty decent career. But, possibly they give Matuidi something. It's Gonzalo Higuain. He could potentially almost guaranteed be a flashback card. I think that's right up his alley. I don't know if FIFA give a lot of promo cards to cards that have like a one to watch, because then it's almost unfair to people who have one to watch cards, because obviously the one to watch doesn't go up. Like I remember noticeably, and I'm only thinking about this now because I bought Lozano's inform, or excuse me, his one to watch card, FIFA 20, and if you remember, he didn't get a single inform, had a pretty bad season, didn't have confidence. FIFA gave him a Christmas card, and of course now in FIFA 21, and of course in real life, by extension, he's having a career year, easily a Serie A team of the season so far. In real life, I think he was officially named to the team of the season at this point so far. And obviously, I have to buy his inform every single week or every single time he gets one, because he decided to pop off this year as opposed to last year. But he did get a Christmas card last year, which is my point. So there's still potential that you're going to have a Matuidi promo card. And of course, Matuidi being French, a lot of options you can go there. So that is why you should make an MLS Ultimate Team squad.